Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Stephen Oscar. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. Today I'm doing a story time. You guys tend to like my story times, thank God. And yeah, I just thought of this story. It happened a while ago. So in this video, I'm gonna share the story about the time that my best friend at the time, no longer best friend, tried to steal my boyfriend, literally like my boyfriend at the time. This happened, I wanna say 2 years ago when I was 18. I'm now 20. I would never let this happen. Well, there was no way I could have stopped it from happening because I didn't know it was happening, but I'm a new person today, you know, 2 years from then, I'm a different person. This would just go down differently if it happened to me today. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, let me start from the beginning of the story. But before we get started, if this is the first time you are ever on my channel, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Click the red subscribe button and click the bell so that you're notified when I post a new video. Anyways, let's get started with the story. So like I said, this story took place 2 years ago. That's 4, but this is 2 years ago. And I was friends with this kid who I actually met on Instagram, and we ended up hanging out and clicked pretty well, I would say, to the point where I would call him my best friend. And this kid was a little bit older than me. He was 2 years older than me. Not out of the ordinary for me. My friends have always been older. That's just like a little fact about myself. So basically, this friend was that type of friend. I feel like we've all had a friend like this that's a little bit envious, a little bit jealous, and they tend to do things in spite or try to like compete with you. Now I realize that, but when I was 18 and I was younger, I was very naive. I didn't realize that he was like jealous of me at the time. Does that make sense? Now I realize it when I look back. But when I was 18, I was naive. I was just giving people the benefit of the doubt. Now I've, you know, these situations that I've lived through and been through have transformed me and molded me into the stronger person that I am today. So I feel like I should just start the story with that so that you get a little bit of history on our friendship and how our relationship worked and all that. So yeah, you get it. I had a best friend. We met on Instagram. He was older than me. He was a little bit jealous and envious of me. I don't know why, but that's just how his brain worked, and I can't help that, and neither can he. So that's why the story went down, and now I'm here to share it. So everything happens for a reason. I'm not upset. When I was 18, he invited me to Europe to go visit him because he was from Europe, and he would come to LA. That's how we met. He came to LA, we met, we hung out, and then eventually had to go back home. So he would come and go, basically, you know. He's one of those, like, they come to LA, then they leave, then they come back. They never really officially moved to LA, but they come and go. So he came to LA, we like became friends and all that. Like, we had tons of like fun and memories, and we became like a friend group, and like we all, you know, like I introduced him to my friends and whatnot. You get how that goes. And it was time for me to go to Europe to visit him. I had never been to Europe. I was 18 years old. I was going by myself. I was spending a month with him in Europe, which is a long time. A month goes by fast, but if you think about it, that's 30 days. That's kind of a long time. And I was really excited. I've always loved traveling. I had a boyfriend at the time. So I was 18, I was dating this boy, and we had been dating for about 5 months, I wanna say. And when I was going to Europe, it was really just like, not hard on our relationship, but it was just like, oh, that sucks, you know, like we were gonna be apart from each other for a long time, and we both just like thought that was like not fun. Obviously, if you're dating someone and you leave for a month, it just kind of sucks. That's like obvious. I went to Europe. I said goodbye to my little boyfriend at the time. We talked every single time. I had Wi-Fi, and like the time zones when they allowed us to, like we would always talk, you know, just because I was like miles away didn't mean we just like stopped talking. We were like dating at the time. So I go to Europe. I'm there for a month, like I said. Over the course of this month that I was in Europe, my iPhone broke 2 times while I was there, and it wasn't just like, oh, it cracked or it shattered a little bit. Basically, my phone, when the screen would crack, the entire screen would just not work. So I had to get my phone replaced, or not replaced, but repaired 2 times while I was there in Europe. And you might be wondering, like, what does your phone have to do with this story? Well, trust me, I'll get there, because my phone has everything to do with this story. So the second time that my phone broke in Europe, it was towards the end of my trip, almost when I was getting ready to go back home. And again, like, this had already happened once in the trip, so I was kind of just like, oh gosh, this is happening again. Anyways, while my phone is broken for the second time, again, I'm using my best friend's phone to like log into my Snapchat and my Instagram and to post pictures. I'm on vacation, I want to post stories, I have to call my mom. Hey mom, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was using his phone and I was in Snapchat talking to my boyfriend at the time, who's back in LA. Basically, my best friend knew that I was talking to this kid. This kid was the first kid that I had ever talked to, was my first boyfriend basically. I talked to my best friend about him a lot because it was like my first relationship, or my first real relationship, and like, he just knew all about it. He knew the boy, I showed him pictures, you know, it's your best friend, you kind of just tell them all this stuff. And basically, I was on his phone, I was on Snapchat, and I was talking to him on there because that was just the app that we had talked a lot on, that we would talk a lot on. So I logged out of my friend's Snapchat, I logged into mine, and he knew this, it was totally okay. Like, yeah, sure, log into your Snapchat, I can log back into mine later. It wasn't a big deal. Me being just naive and just like nice and not thinking anything, I accidentally gave him his phone back and forgot to log out of my Snapchat, which was a big mistake. Never forget to log out of anything on someone else's device, because I'm sorry, I just don't trust anyone, honestly. Probably because this happened, actually, let's be honest. But anyways, I didn't think anything of it. I gave back the phone, it was still logged into Snapchat, and that was the end of that. Nothing happened. A week went by, I went back home to LA, everything's good, I'm back home. I meet up with this boy that I'm dating for the first time. He basically tells me that he wants to talk to me, and I'm just like, okay, like, sure, like, yeah, we haven't seen each other in a month, let's go have lunch. We go have lunch, I meet up with him, and I can just tell the vibe is weird, something's different, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just acting a little bit more like distant, and I was like, well, maybe it's because I was in Europe for a month, like, I have no clue, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. So I pick him up and we go to this cafe. I still remember the cafe, it's called the Break Room Cafe, and I'm telling him about Europe. We order, we get food or whatever, and he tells me that he has to tell me something. I don't know about you guys, but when someone says, I need to talk to you, I need to tell you something, I need to talk to you about something, those just make me so nervous. Like, I was gonna say make my heart sink, but like, honestly, like, they make my stomach quiver. Like, what, you have to talk to me? Like, what do you mean? Like, that just makes me so nervous. He basically began to tell me how after we talked on Snapchat, my best friend basically was drunk messaging my boyfriend, telling him that I didn't care about him, that I didn't like him, that I talked bad about him, and that he, as in my best friend, had a crush on my boyfriend, and that he basically told him he should stop talking to me and just block me, and that he wants to hook up with him, and all this crazy, crazy stuff. I was just sitting there at the table with my mouth wide open, like, I could not believe this was happening to me. I could not believe that my best friend would do that on my Snapchat account to the kid I was dating. I don't even have words for like what I was, honestly. I was just so shocked that this boy I was talking to was telling me this in front of my face. I was honestly so humiliated and so embarrassed that my best friend would do that. I just felt so stupid, and I was like, how could my best friend try to even do this? Even though the boy I was dating was on my side and also couldn't believe that this kid did this, was obviously the best, like, ever. Like, that was the best outcome that could have happened. Imagine if the boy that I was dating was like, yeah, you're right, you're hotter than Steven, like, I am gonna block him and I'm gonna stop talking to him and now we're gonna start talking. That would have been even worse than the already bad situation that I was in. But it all got worked out because the boy that I was dating he has a good heart, and he told me everything, and I didn't even tell anything to my best friend. I honestly just, done, you're done. My silence is loud enough you don't even deserve to hear from me. I continued dating the boy, and my best friend saw that through social media, and he definitely put A and B together and realized, oh my gosh, everything that I did, Steven found out. That's why he hasn't talked to me. And to this day, we do not talk. I tried to give him another chance after this. And after I gave him a second chance, he did something again, which I don't even know how I gave him a second chance. I'm honestly just too nice sometimes. But you made your bed, now go lie in it, you know? Like, you lost me as a friend, and that's your loss. So I know he's still upset about it, but like, I don't know what to say, bro. Like, you did what you did, and like, I don't know, like, I'm living my life, you can live your life. In Europe, stay away from me, and stay away from people that I know, honestly, because I don't associate with crazy people. Like, that's just crazy. Like, how do you do that to your best friend? Like, I'm sure you guys are wondering the same thing. Like, that's just insane. Like, can you imagine your best friend trying to go after the person that you're dating, and it's the first person you're ever dating, when you literally have had multiple relationships? Like, why would you go after your best friend's boyfriend that doesn't even live in your city? Like, that's so pathetic and just sad. I honestly feel genuinely so bad. Yeah, that's my little story of how my best friend at the time tried to steal my boyfriend at the time. Like I said, this is an older story, and such a learning lesson in life. Like, definitely don't trust people that try to slither their way into your life. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, comment any stories that you guys have of crazy ex-best friends. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I love you all so much. Thanks for watching again. Peace out, stay hot, and I will see you when I'm back.